your guns! Shoot!
HMS Victory, sailing into the mother of all sea battles. A battle that would decide the control of the seas for 100 years. And in the lowest deck of all was the ship's surgery. Records tell us that there were 150 different drugs, tonics, and preparations. 120 yards of linen bandages. 3 medics for 827 men. And no anesthetic. The ship's surgeon was William Beatty. As well as a detailed surgeon's log, he wrote no less than 3 personal accounts of what happened in those 4 hours of conflict. Through his remarkable testimony, and 10 other eyewitnesses down in the emergency room, this film has pieced together a unique picture of the most famous battle in British naval history.
Dutchie, I want separate buckets to wash sponges and dressings, and another one for the vinegar.
Already taken care of, sir.
And you get me some hot water before they douse the galley stove.
Ready be cold.
Yeah, but at least it'll be clean. And can someone please tell me why we're going so bloody slowly?
Beatty knew Admiral Nelson's bold tactic as well as most others on board that day. Sail directly towards the French and Spanish lines and blow apart their hulls from either side. But it meant that Victory wouldn't be able to return fire until she crossed the enemy line. The slower the wind speed, the longer the onslaught.
Mr. Beatty, where are you going?
Quarterdeck.
You do that, not if I were you. We're almost within range. You go up there now, more than likely you get your head knocked off.
Your concern is very touching, Mr. Rivers.
And where do you think you're going?
Speak to the Admiral.
You've badgered the man once already. He didn't listen to you then, and he won't be listening to you now. You should be at your station.
This plan of his, it can only work if we go at them at speed, and just now it feels like we're going backward.
For God's sake, will you're the bloody surgeon. Why do you always do this?
Because I know what the consequences are.
Now just get below.
Stand your guns! Hold fire!
Stand your guns, but hold your fire!
What's our speed, Rivers?
2 knots, sir. The wind's dropped.
You see, it'll be carnage.
But, William, England expects that every man will do his duty.
You and I should have pitched off to America when we had the chance.
Jesus, look at them. Does Nelson think the enemy will strike his colours just at the mere sight of himself and his redcoats?
Probably. He's fit as a butcher's dog and ready to sink his teeth into some Frenchman's arse.
And I'm going to be there when he does. I'll see you later.
It's suicide.
For God's sake, keep your voice down.
Sarah, get back to your post. Hurry! Right down!
Oh, I wouldn't kick that one out of bed.
Don't be a stupid idiot, Andrew. It's not the time.
Do you want me to die a virgin?
I don't want you to die at all. Or get your bollocks shot away. Just keep your mind on the job. And when you're up there like ducks in a row and you see 12 pounds of iron coming at you, do me a favour and stick your head up your arse.
You still on my gun deck, Mr. Beatty, because your mate and my boy might need you down below.
I'll go when I'm good and ready.
You ready now, Mr. Beatty?
Beatty records that the opening salvos alone caused heavy losses. Worst hit were the red-coated Marines, ordered by Nelson to stand in defiance on the exposed upper decks.
So badly, not even his old mammy can recognize.
18-year-old midshipman Roberts, however, was sent to assist down below. Beatty and his crash team were short-staffed and needed all the help they could get.
Right, you get back to your post. Very well, Assistant Surgeon Roberts, lend a hand here. Come here, you. First come, first serve. I don't care if your bollocks is hanging by a whisker. You wait your sodding turn. Nice of you to join us, Mr. Beatty. Oh, nice to be here, Lord Lolly.
Moving so slow, we're late for our own funeral, I think.
You're telling me, don't you?
Lost our steering gear.
What, all of it?
Yeah, some bastard French gunner got lucky.
So how far do the enemy lands?
No idea.
And what about our guns?
They're far around you.
And the Admiral?
Don't give a bollocks.
New orders from the Admiral. All guns are to be loaded with double shot.
How much longer, for Christ's sake?
I don't know. Wind's dropped to 1.5 knots.
Prepare for double shot and hold your fire. Maintain elevation. Guns to bore at point blank range.
216. 216. Double ball. You recognize this, Mr. Roberts?
No, sir.
Well, you should do, because it's a dead man. Take him away. Right, Lieutenant. In here. Lieutenant Pascoe.
It's rather bad, I think.
I think you always think it is rather bad. Welcome to hell, Mr. Roberts. This is what grape shot does. But don't just stand there, lad. I need clean sponges and dressings.
Bit of a mess, I'm afraid, Mr. Beatty.
I've seen worse, Lieutenant. How long have you been wearing this shirt?
It was clean on this morning.
Oh, good, good, good. It might stop the tetanus. But not the gangrene, I'm afraid. Right. We have transverse fractures of the upper right humerus and comminuted fractures to the wrist and elbow.
Beyond repair, I think.
So there's some hope for him then, eh?
Are you gonna cut me?
Well, Nelson's wound wasn't as bad as yours.
We are not butchers, Lieutenant. We'll clean him up, keep the arm immobilized, and then we'll see. Here, by the by, when you and your lot are up there raising flags about duty and Englishmen, do you ever consider where it leaves the likes of me?
Where the Irish have always been. Beyond the bloody pale.
Right.
Beatty's crash team was made up of a limited number of professionals, supported by loblolly boys, named after the slop they fed recovering patients. Most loblollies were pressed men, but in battle they were an extra pair of hands.
We were on the quarterdeck, and then this ball came straight for us. Missed us both. But it came bloody close. I felt the wind of it.
And Mr. Whipple?
I don't know. I mean, next thing he's just lying there. I think he's only fainted. He'll be all right.
Unfortunately, no. He's dead. But I do not find a mark on him.
I've got the forward magazine's been hit. We're going up.
Oh, we ain't. Them's our guns. How about bleeding time at all? Just listen to 'em. It ain't prizes the old man wants. It's bloody annihilation. Hey! Go on, boys! Give it to 'em!
The surgeon tells us that half an hour after the start of action, Victory sliced through the enemy line and came round the back of the French battleship Redoutable.
Stand your guns!
Now her 100 guns let loose.
Reload! Reload!
From here on, The battle was being fought at close quarters.
There you go, Mr. Beatty. Nice souvenir for you. Must be French, only half the size of Nelson's.
What was that?
Sounds like we've hit something. Bastards are firing up through our quarterdeck. Be raining bleeding splinters up there.
Will they board us?
I don't know, Roberts, but at least if they do, I've got you here to protect me. Hit? How many fingers? You hear me? How many fingers?
Is he blinded, sir?
Just concussed. Pass me that sponge.
We would, of course, won't we, Mr. Beatty? It stands to reason.
Is that right now?
Well, our gunners are faster.
Doesn't matter how fast they are if they're all down here, does it?
The Admiral always wins. He's got the Nelson touch.
Hey, not if he loses another arm.
You mustn't say that, sir. It's treason.
So report me. Pass me a fresh dressing and that laudanum. Well done, Roberts. That's just cost some poor bastard a shitload of pain.
Grenada! Grenada! Since where'd you come from? Grenada! Calm, Savvy! Grenada! I think he wants to go out.
Grenada's in Spain, you prick, not the Caribbean.
No, Grenada! Hey, what's he saying? Grenada! Grenade! The city shot's got a grenade!
Is that thing live?
Well, of course it is. It ain't gone off, has it?
Well, deal with it.
Boy, Santa, stick your hands in here.
Mr. Beatty, the Bronx are chucking grenades. I tried to kick one back.
You wait your turn. You're after him.
Sorry, Rivers. I'll be with you as quickly as I can.
You seen action before, Mr. Beatty?
I've had a test.
Well, nothing like this, then.
No. What have you got?
Oblique fractures to the right femur, left patella smashed, severed arteries. Bloodbath. It's a bloodbath. It's very hopeless, I think.
For God's sake, Dutchie! Why must you be such a Jeremiah? Just get him cleaned up. Take him away.
One out, one in.
Very well, Mr. Rivers.
Here, that's my courting day's over. There's no lasses to look at a man with only one foot.
I didn't hold back our one arm up there, did it?
Here, give me a hand, Richard.
Oh, easy, lads. Told you we should have gone to America.
Andrew. He's lost a lot of blood, sir. More spikes in him than a friggin' blowfish.
Get him into surgery now.
You're wasting your time, sir. Besides, there's others.
What the hell would you know about it? Get the lieutenant moved.
Can't be done, sir. Breaks the code.
Fuck the code.
The code is there for a very good reason, Mr. Beatty.
Not if you teach me my job, boy, or my duty. I make the rules down here, and I say Lieutenant Ram requires immediate surgery.
Well,
it's all right, Andrew. We'll move you now.
No, I'll wait my turn.
I decide whose turn it is.
And give these English reason to cry foul. I'll not give the bastards a satisfaction. I wait my turn.
Come on, then. Get Mr. Rivers into surgery.
If it's all the same to you, sir, I can hang on a bit longer.
First come, first served, Rivers. It's my duty.
Well, he can have my turn. I can wait.
Let's go.
Beatty's close friend, Lieutenant Andrew Ram, suffered one of the most common battle injuries, caused not by French or Spanish iron, but by homegrown English oak.
Close up there! Close up!
We're losing a lot of blood, sir.
Get me a ligature. Ligature! Hold him!
I've got him, sir.
Somebody deal with that! Lovelolly, we need more light here. Let's see what the hell I'm doing. Hold that steady.
One of the most dangerous jobs on board ship was to feed the guns with powder. Powder monkeys were often young boys, or women like Sarah Pitt.
Run out of powder. Shall I go down and get some more?
Yeah, find out how my boy is.
He's taking my George down too.
Tell Beatty if my boy dies, I'll cut his throat.
Who's a lucky midshipman, isn't he? You're safer down here, aren't you?
I don't know what you're saying.
Give me that. You wouldn't be down here at all if your old man weren't friends with the captain.
Higher with that damn lantern. Ah, Jesus! Ah! Sponge! Oh, Jesus! Oh, you! Get back to your gun deck.
Will you look at that? An angel.
Oh, no. You're not dead yet, boy.
Damn it, and here I was thinking I'd died and gone to heaven. Hold my hand, darling, will you? Please. Hold my hand.
I've come to see my husband.
George, I don't think he'll mind.
He's fine. Just got a bit of a headache. I told you to get back to your post.
Oh, let her stay.
The time she's down here, somewhere there's a gun going hungry for powder.
Now get back to your post! Leave her be. I just promoted her from powder monkey to surgeon's assistant. Grab that man.
What about Midshipman Rivers? His father's worried.
He's still bleeding waiting, isn't he?
He's a stubborn fellow, our Mr. William Beatty. Thinks he can save the world. Never gives up.
What would you know about it?
Mind you, he did pass out top of his class. Not bad for a bog-trotting Ulsterman.
Just as well for you, because they don't teach this stuff in London.
Thinks he's an old dog at it, too. But will that be enough now the deck's moving? I don't think so.
You're not going to die, Andy. I kept you from yellow fever in the Indies, and I'll keep you alive now.
Do you hear that? The bloody arrogance. That's what gets him into trouble. That's what gets him court-martialed.
Just shut up. All right, all right. We're doing well. We're almost there.
I'm sorry, but no. You should look at this.
Look at what? What is it?
It's nothing.
The blood. It's going black.
Black?
Shut up, Dutchie.
Why is it going black? Oh, Jesus Christ.
This instance?
I said shut up!
It means a splinter has pierced the vital organ.
That's bad.
I told you I'd deal with it.
No, you won't.
No, no,
Andrew, hold still.
Don't waste any time on me. I'd rather die at my post than this shithole.
Hold it! It's a daisy.
It's a seizure!
The strap on him.
For the love of God, Mr. Beatty, it's like a bunch of shambles.
Mr. Beatty. Hard to stop, Mr. Beatty.
Come back, Andrew! Come back!
Mr. Beatty.
I'm sorry, Mr. Beatty. I'm sorry.
Drag him away, Mr. Beatty.
Regarding the death of Lieutenant Ram, Beatty's account notes, "The reader may judge of the surgeon's feelings at this momentous period. The excellent young officer was one of my dearest friends."
All right. Robert's got us another patient in here. Sarah, you can help him as you've been promoted surgeon's assistant. Take Lieutenant Ram away. Then tell Mr. Rivers it won't be long.
All right, Mr. Rivers. I'll be long now.
Is it true that Mr. Beatty was court-martialed? What for?
No idea. I'll tell you though. When he came aboard, we all put our hands together. Now I'm beginning to wonder why. Maybe it was for not doing his job properly.
It's none of your damn business. Now get the midshipman ready.
Make way there! Make way!
Right, what have you got now? Get you more comfortable, lad.
Oi, Loberly, get Beatty.
And what about Rivers?
The boy must wait.
The code says no exceptions.
Fetch the surgeon.
Over an hour into the Battle of Trafalgar, according to the surgeon's detailed account, HMS Victory was locked tight against the Redoubtable. The Royal Navy's gunners were trained to fire a fresh broadside every 2 minutes, twice the speed of the enemy. Thanks to the Navy's commitment to combating scurvy and fueling the men with food they needed for their relentless training regime, they were the fittest men at sea. But up in the rigging of their ships, the French had the best snipers, and they'd been ordered to target British officers.
My lord! Surgeon! Mr. Beatty's on the way. Everyone's been hit.
The surgeon is on the way.
Please, let's give him more air. We're in some room. Let the dog see a rabbit. Sorry, forward. Where? I need a sharpshooter, sir. What does he say? Up the top sails. Something about feeling.
Do you have any chest pain?
I don't know, sir. I said every so often.
I can't hear you. Shut your damn row. What do we know?
Sensations in his chest and like gushes of blood.
May I have your lordship's leave to perform an examination? Very well, we must remove his jacket. Yes. Raise him up a little. Yes.
Let me help, sir.
They've knocked you back again. Another poxy epaulette.
It's Lord Nelson.
Yeah. Well, it don't take no working out, does it? Of course they're going to take a bleeding pop at him. Strutting around a quarterdeck dressed up like an emperor of bleeding China.
Someone should have said, didn't they?
They did.
Who?
Beatty, for one. Told him he might as well paint a bullseye on his chest. I'll tell you what, though. Beatty may be back on the knife. I wouldn't want him cutting me.
Apologies, my lord. I should
assure you this is a necessary procedure. Need to sit him upright. 1, 2, 3.
Beatty's accounts are scrupulous in their detail up to this point.
Well?
But when it comes to Nelson's diagnosis, Beatty glosses over the dilemma that must have faced him.
Mr. Beatty!
The decision of whether the wounded admiral could be saved was too delicate a question for a heroic memoir.
Sir? Mr. Beatty, I'm sorry, but I just don't understand.
There's no exit wound.
I still don't understand.
I'm saying the ball is lodged somewhere close to his spine.
Then you must take it out.
It's not that simple.
There's a real risk. Such an operation is potentially fatal.
But it could be done.
Perhaps. It hasn't been done, to my knowledge.
Well, there is a first time for everything. It is your duty to try.
I daren't.
This is Lord Nelson we're talking about. You can't just let him die. You must operate at once.
Be the man to kill him.
So what are you saying? You're not even willing to dare? Well, perhaps Mr. Westenberg is.
Reverend Scott, I am surgeon aboard this ship. And I will decide what is in a patient's interests.
Like you decided for Lieutenant Ram?
Naval regulations recommended that patients be seen within an hour to prevent fatal infection. From Beatty's log, we know that Rivers waited well over that hour. The regulations said nothing about wounded admirals. According to the limits of current medical practice, the musket ball in Nelson was beyond the surgeon's reach. Beatty could guess that it had sliced through a lung and even severed a major artery. In his account, Beatty admits that he decided to keep this quiet from most of the crew. After all, Nelson was more than just a leader. He was their god.
Word is you're not going to operate on the Admiral. Some of us think you're just letting him die.
Listen, Lieutenant. If I take that chunk of shot at him, then chances are I'll kill him. Think what that would do for the men's morale. However, if I can keep him quiet and comfortable, he may survive long enough to see us win this thing.
Then you should tell him.
I await the captain's opinion. Oh, you're making up your mind. Mr. Rivers is ready and waiting. I've put Westbowl next to his lordship along with Mr. Whipple.
What the hell for?
He wants to keep an eye on him. Be there in case Mr. Whipple wakes up. Man is dead, for God's sake. He died from wind of ball. Yeah, you know that, and I know that. Trouble is, Mr. Westpole won't believe it. And more to the point, Mr. Beatty, no one's believing you anymore.
Captain's compliments, sir, but he can't leave the quarterdeck.
Why not?
They've grappling irons across, and they're preparing to board us any minute now. I brought these.
Give one of these to any man you think can shoot straight. Tell Rivers I'll be with him directly. You go and tell Hardy what's going on. Move aside there. My lord. Sir. I wish I could bring you some comfort, but I cannot. Truth is, I think your back is broken. But you know that already, don't you? You've always known it.
could dig the ball out of you, but then there's that gushing sensation in your chest. Can you still feel your toes? I could give you something for the pain, because it will get a lot worse. But I don't think you want that either. I think you want to stay alert for the men, am I right? Thank you, my lord.
Right, you're on.
It doesn't hurt so much. I think we should just leave it as it is, eh?
Listen, son, the old man's hanging on, so you hang on. We're about to be wounded, Beatty's fizzing like a grenade, and I ain't about to argue with him. Now, take hold of this. Now, if you see a frog coming down them stairs, you blow its fucking brains out. And that goes for you, too.
Mr. Roberts, where are you going?
Up to the quarterdeck. Mr. Beatty sent me.
What for? You shouldn't be here.
I've got to fetch Captain Hardy. Lord Nelson's been shot.
Look to your guns.
But he's still alive, holding on.
Of course he bloody is. Get going then. And watch yourself. What's the news on my boy?
Scissors, please. Leave him where he is. Turn him on his side and iron his lungs will fill with blood. Drown in his own blood.
Down as quickly as I could.
Sir.
It's been hell up there. We're outnumbered and we're repelling them hand to hand. I want every man still with some spunk and him back at his post. How is his lordship?
Tearing up.
Well, then the operation was a success.
I never took him into surgery.
Never took him into surgery. You want men back at their posts?
Well, that's what I'm giving you.
Hey! Here's another one for you.
And that's what Nelson's giving you. Giving them the strength to fight even when they're falling over their own dead. Now, I suggest you get over there and tell him what he needs to hear while I get on with my job. There's a boy here been waiting so long he's probably going to die from blood loss.
We'll hear more of this, Mr. Beatty.
I reckon he's heading for another court-martial.
2 hours into the battle and an hour after Nelson had been shot, Victory was in danger of being boarded by the enemy. The Battle of Trafalgar was hanging in the balance.
Mr. Roberts. Sarah. I've instructed Mr. Westenberg to concentrate on getting as many men as possible back to their posts, which means you two are going to have to help me with Rivers. And you must do exactly as I tell you. Is that understood?
Sir.
Sarah? Sarah!
I understand, Mr. Beatty.
Now, once we begin, we do not stop. From the moment the tourniquet is tightened, the clock is ticking, and nothing, and I mean nothing, is to stop the procedure. Loblolly will hold the leg in as straight a line as possible. Once I start cutting, he'll want to jump about a bit, so we've got to hang on to him. You'll need to support him by the shoulders and have him in a grip of iron. Now, can you do that for me?
Sir.
Good man. Sarah. Right, everything we need is here. Ligatures, tenaculum. These are Josephine, Napoleon, Bonaparte. Now, familiarize yourself with them because it'll be your job to hand them to me as and when. And I want you showing me some lights. Can you do that for me? Good girl. Right, Mr. Rivers, at last. Let's get you sorted.
Mr. Beatty,
Is it true what they say? That instead of throwing the arms and legs over the side, the loblolly boy has him as meat for the sick?
I wouldn't put it past him. Don't worry, not on my watch.
Have you?
Down the table now.
What did the Admiral say?
He says he hopes they warm the knife.
Rivers, I need to explain.
No, it's all right. Just do it.
No. I need you to listen and understand. Now, you've been very patient. I know you're hurting, but I can't give you anything while we do this.
I know. Alcohol makes the blood run quicker.
That's right. It's safer if you stay alert during the procedure.
Don't worry, Will. Me and Sarah will look after you.
After his own painful amputation, Nelson insisted that the cold steel of his surgeon's blades be warmed.
Everybody ready? Better bite on this.
It was some small comfort for the patient. For the surgeon, it was the most dangerous of operations. It had to be performed in less than 2.5 minutes, or the patient might die of shock.
Josephine? Hold on. Hold him, Roberts, hold him. Hold him.
Great guns of tragedy, loaded so well.
Come on, we'll sing! Come on, we'll sing!
We'll certainly tell. We'll know them.
Come on, we'll sing!
Take aim at the Frenchies and brigands. We've great guns of tragedy, loaded so well. If they do but go, we'll certainly tell.
I need more light over here.
Here's from the dogs and the froggies, guns down their eyes. We've great guns of tragedy.
Right, go get me ligature quickly.
Well, if they do but go off, we'll certainly tell. We'll take all your women, we'll tie them in chains, we'll leave them to rot on Spanish remains.
Ligature. Quickly.
Thank you.
No, you do it.
I can't.
Do it. Go on. That's it. That's it. Come on, through. That's it. Good girl. Right, next one. Come on. Quickly.
Okay.
That's it. Doing well.
Okay.
Tight. You're still with us, Rivers? Good man. All finished here. Well done, everybody. Let's get him bandaged up.
I think this could be worse. Oh, really? It's very beautiful.
Well, thank you, Dutchy. Who's next?
What's happening?
Sounds like someone's come to give us an hand. Roll, Britannia!
And so the saviour of the day was the British battleship Temeraire, which had fallen aboard the Redoutable's other side, blasting out fresh broadsides and killing 50% of her crew. After that, the French and Spanish ships began to fall like ninepins. It was the news Nelson had waited 2 hours to hear.
It's difficult to be certain, but I'm confident of 14, and the rest are heading for Cadiz. Yes, sir. My most sincere apologies. His Lordship says he asked for 20. And should Admiral Collingwood now assume command, my lord? His Lordship says over his dead body. Mr. Beatty.
Now, my lord. Let me
And the life. Saith the Lord.
In spite of his terrible injuries, Nelson had held on for over 3 hours, long enough to know that victory was his.
Shall never die.
And how's Mr. Whipple doing?
He's not going to wake up, is he, sir?
No.
There's not a mark on him. I just don't understand how he died.
Your friend, Mr. Whipple, died from something we call wind of ball. The theory is that when a projectile passes very close to the body, it can put severe pressure on the internal organs, which may cause them to collapse. When that happens, I'm afraid that really not very much can be done about it. I am sorry.
Don't be so. You'd have saved him if you could.
Can we move Mr. Whipple, please?
Tell me about Mr. Beatty's court-martial.
It was 10 years ago, Dudley. He was brought up before Captain Bligh, charged with insolence and insubordination to a senior officer.
And what happened?
He was cleared.
Insubordination to a senior officer. And he gets away with it.
Hey. This bloody senior officer to which you refer was a pompous arse who thought he understood my duty better than I understood it myself. And Bligh knew it.
You know, that's always been your problem, Mr. Beatty. You care more about the men than you ever did the rule book. Now, if you don't mind, some of us have work to do.
Cheeky bugger.
Despite the end of hostilities, the hard work wasn't over. The cannons had to be lashed. A storm was approaching.
Well, Mr. Beatty. He's gone then.
Yes. I made the decision not to operate. I can't help wondering that if I had, he might still be alive.
Not from what I heard. He was a dead man the minute he was hit.
Maybe.
But he hung on till it was over.
Yes, and it took some doing.
And you saved my boy.
He's a remarkable lad. You should be proud of him. Nelson was, he said so.
Beatty's crash team saved 102 men that day. They performed amputations on 11 men, of whom only 2 subsequently died. Young Rivers, minus a leg, did well. Within 12 months, he was promoted lieutenant and spent another 20 years in the Navy. Westfall did even better. He became an admiral and left the bullion from Nelson's epaulet, which had got stuck in his hair, to the National Maritime Museum. Despite his father's friendship with Captain Hardy, Midshipman Richard Roberts left the Navy within 2 months of the battle. Sarah Pitt, being a woman, was left out of the Navy's official records, but the Times printed her account of the battle 40 years later. After Trafalgar, she and her husband George saw more action in the Dardanelles and raised their 2 sons on board ship. And Nelson? His body was preserved in a barrel of brandy for the long voyage home. He was buried in state in St. Paul's Cathedral in January 1806. Never fond of water, he had rejected Westminster Abbey on account of its marshy foundations. Beatty's accounts of Nelson's death made him famous, but the story of his court-martial was forgotten until it was unearthed in the research for this film. Beatty stood accused of defying his commanding officer. He'd refused to send a sick man back to his post. The court recognized that the surgeon was acting in the best interests of his patient. Beatty continued defending the sick as Chief Medical Officer of the Channel Fleet and of Greenwich Hospital. He was knighted for his services to the nation. After the battle, the body of Beatty's friend Andrew Ram washed up on the coast of southern Spain. Identified by the name tag in his shirt, he was given a proper burial by the mayor of Cadiz. He is the only man of 449 British dead known to have been recovered from the sea.
Find out what the rest of life was like for a sailor in Nelson's time at channel4.com/history. Next, unease in a wealthy household when the nanny kidnaps the baby. In Without a Trace.